Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, January 25th, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. Now that the President's constitutional deadline has passed to begin the procedure for establishing the assessment institutions for the vetting law, the Constitution states that the Ombudsman will take over the responsibility on Thursday. Tomorrow, the Ombudsman is expected to officially start the process for establishing the new justice bodies, which will assess the judges and prosecutors. The Ombudsman must first announce a race for the positions of the new institutions. Once candidates have applied, the Ombudsman will gather the candidates' information into individual files and then draft two lists. One list will be of candidates who meet the criteria, and the other list will be candidates who do not. Both lists, together with a detailed report, will then be sent to the International Monitoring Operation for their review. The final list will be sent to Parliament for voting. Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Laws Commission officially started the procedures for selecting the new Ombudsman from the 20 candidates that were presented. Opposition members abandoned the commission meeting with claims that the majority is trying to maneuver control over the Ombudsman institution. The former chairwoman of the Central Election Commission, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Interior, and the current Ombudsman are among the 20 candidates for the Ombudsman position. Soros Foundation has conducted their study on impunity and found that the Judiciary continues as the institutions with the citizens' lowest trust. The study was conducted among 1,200 people and found that citizens show more interest in the problems the country is facing now. And television continues to be the main source of information for 79% of Albania's citizens. The study shows that the economy, corruption, and bad governance are where citizens see most problems in Albania, and the media has the most successful stake in investigation and reporting of violations. According to those who participated in the study, the state police have a good standing. The study shows the prosecution continues to have a negative evaluation, and the citizens' trust in the judiciary is the lowest. The executive director of the Soros Foundation responded to accusations of having an impact on the judicial reform, considering them to be a nonsense political soap opera. He said that the foundation is proud of assisting in the realization of this reform, as more than 90% of Albanian citizens want the judicial reform. Albania's ambassador to Kosovo, Kemal Minjozi, expressed his concern over the situation between Kosovo and Serbia. The ambassador said that the relationship between the parties is tense, and if dialogue between them stops, the situation can worsen. Speaking at the Parliamentary Commission of Foreign Issues, the Albanian ambassador to Kosovo declared that the only train both countries should take is the one that goes towards the European Union and leaves the past behind. According to Mr. Minjozi, Serbia's train with nationalist symbols and the arrest of Kosovo's former prime minister has caused tension between the two countries to reach maximum levels. The ambassador also stated that Kosovo and Serbia have close economic ties, with Serbia exporting around 500 million in food products to Kosovo. Transparency International, otherwise known as TI, publicized their Corruption Perceptions Index today. The report shows that 66% of Albanian people think that corruption levels have increased in the last few years. TI notes that ranking is often influenced by politicians, powerful businessmen, and oligarchic groups. In the global classification, Albania is ranked 83rd out of 176 countries, with the scoring system starting at 0, indicating the most corrupt countries, and ending at 100, indicating corruption-free countries. Compared with the regional countries, Albania and Bosnia both have 39 points, slightly higher than Kosovo and Macedonia. Kosovo is ranked 95th with 36 points, Macedonia ranked 90th with 37 points, and Bosnia with 39 points. Serbia holds 72nd place with 42 points, and Montenegro is ranked at 64th with 45 points. Transparency International notes that there is a systematic fight against corruption in the Balkans, including Turkey and Russia. The nonprofit organization found the best performing countries in the world remain Denmark and New Zealand, where corruption perception is very low. These countries both have 90 points, indicating that citizens feel there is very little or almost no corruption. Denmark and New Zealand are followed by the Nordic countries and Switzerland, where there is also little corruption. Germany is ranked 10th with 81 points, and the US is 18th with 74 points. The countries with the highest perceptions of corruption are North Korea, Sudan, and South Somalia, which closes the list at 176th place. Even though the justice system continues to be an obstacle in the fight against corruption, the government says that the reforms are giving results. Commenting on the Transparency International Index report, the Minister of Local Government declared that the new justice institutions, which will be established with the judicial reform, will further result in the fight against corruption. The minister said that Albania has made progress in the fight against corruption, and according to him, the Transparency International report also proves this, as Albania has moved up by 5 positions in the index. According to the Minister of Local Governments, the fight against corruption remains a strategic priority of the government, even though the justice system has been a big obstacle. Unfortunately, in the 3 years of our governance, the justice system has not cooperated seriously to punish corruption in Albania, declared the minister, adding that impunity will end with the creation of the new justice institutions, such as the Special Prosecution and the National Bureau of Investigation. The implementation of the judicial reform is a historic necessity in order to consolidate the achievements reached in the last 3 years in the fight against corruption and to end the impunity of all those who are engaged in corrupt affairs. Especially the establishment of the Special Prosecution Against Corruption and the National Bureau of Investigation will increase the state's strength against corruption, concluded the minister. In the global classification of the Transparency International Index of Perceived Corruption, Albania is ranked 83rd. Compared to 2013, when the current government first came into power, Albania's ranking has improved by 33 positions. In 2013, Albania was ranked at the 116th place. The director of the Audio-Visual Media Authority, Gentian Sala, reported today at the Parliamentary Media Commission at the request of commission members. He was called to respond to the accusations of market monopolization, the digitizing process, abuses of national licenses, to concerns of the local media, and to the accusations about his wealth. During his reporting, the director of the Audio-Visual Media Authority declared that there are large media groups in the market, which he says shows there are no monopolies. Earlier, the Association of Local Media raised its concern about the frequencies being occupied and of high broadcasting tariffs. Their concerns were denied by the AMA director, who stated that tariffs are set according to the population and that the tariffs for local media have been reduced. Regarding his wealth, Mr. Sala said that the Commission has already filed a request with the High Inspectorate of Declaration and Audit of Assets and Conflict of Interest, and their investigation has been launched. Therefore, he cannot comment on the issue as it is subject to investigation. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.